guys, we're starting in 2 minutes. Share this around. TJ account as usual. Grabs. Best question for that. It's likely we're going to be talking about robots. Check. Okay. We got what do you go by? Trade with Pat or Trader Pat?
Trade with Pat.
Trade with Pat. Yeah, I've never seen somebody actually word it that way. It's usually Trader, so I keep calling you Trader Pat. Trade with Pat. A guy that I've been trying to get on here for I think a couple years now, actually, that we've been doing this podcast, and he kept saying no, and finally he came on. So Trade with Pat is a more of an algorithmic trader, I believe. Right? You've been trading for a very long time. You've recently built yourself a house. You've been doing very well for yourself in the trading world. So I think a lot of people are going to be rather interested. Why don't you go ahead and give yourself a brief introduction so that people can start to gather sort of questions that they might want.
Yeah, great. Look, I started trading like 2008, 2009, right? And I started with robots back then, right? And then so that was kind of my introduction to trading in general. So I have kind of a different way that I look at the markets. I have traded manually a lot in my life. Obviously, I do that on the live stream, just like you do yourself. But I love robots. I've made a lot of money with robots. I'm obsessed with robots. I always have been. So, and I've recently made a new one that I just put out in November. So, and the robot I had before that, I released 10 years ago. So it's not like I just put these things out. It takes a long time to find something that works.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of questions that personally I want to ask about robots. And I think, I think you're definitely the man to ask then if you've been doing this. You started with a robot. You never did any manual trading at the beginning?
Basically started with robots, then manual trading, but never stopped using robots. And yeah, definitely ask away. I've seen you trying to rage bait me in a couple Instagram reels already. I'm ready for you.
Yeah. Well, I'm experimenting with.
He does that with everyone.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing. I'm experimenting with programming robots now because the AI I realized is so good that it can just I have coding capabilities now. Even though I have a coding background, I couldn't figure out how to code the logic for my strategy. So in the early days when you first started coding, were you using much logic, or were you using more indicators and following trends? And how did that
just
go for you?
All indicators. When I first started out, it was pretty much all indicators, like moving average crosses, that sort of thing, which can work. But now my strategy, my latest robot, that's based on the orb, range breakout. And then you can add indicators onto that. But I feel like I've had much more success with it because it does have a foundational strategy that's worked. There's papers written about it. There's people who have used that strategy since the 60s or something. So That's working out more than my last robot. But my last robot was #1 on the market for like 10 years as well. So solid.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now when you approach a new robot, what's your goal like to hit? Like, do you have a profit factor goal? Do you have a minimum drawdown? Like, what's your approach? Like, how do you attack it? You know what I mean? Just overarching.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like me and my team kind of get together. We talk through all our strategies. We talk through the approach. I wouldn't say there's a specific number that I want to hit, but like what I want to make sure that I do is that that we're not like over optimizing, right? We just don't want to over optimize. We want to make sure that the strategy is still close to what the strategy actually is. Like right now, we want to have that range set. If that range is 15 minutes, if that range is an hour and 15 minutes, that's fine. It's still setting the range. That's the only thing that really matters to me, because then it's close to the actual strategy. Anything else, you're just overfitting, and and it's just never going to work. And I warn you, like, you're starting with this thing, it takes so long to get something good, and it's just so difficult. And you have to go in areas you sometimes don't want to go, because the other trading gurus say, hey, we can't have a risk reward that's negative, right? Like these sorts of things you just kind of have to throw out the window if you're going to be algorithmic.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So have you been coding with AI?
Oh, no, lately? I'm not doing that. And like right now, I just have a team of coders. Like I barely touch the code. If my community's listening to this, I am doing all the updates, Okay, my coders are. But still, I'm what I'm doing is I'm trading with the robot, and I'm back testing the robot, and I'm making sure the logic is matching up with the strategy. And then we're just getting the result that we want. And that, like, there's no bugs, because there's always bugs, right? So I'm always like fixing. I've done like 12 updates already on the robot that I released in November. So it's like, it's a constant process.
Okay. It's interesting because yours. Sorry, go on, James.
Are all your bots on MT5 or MT4? No futures bots at the moment, or what are your?
It's coming.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now we are working on taking the Trade with Pat robot, and we are trying to convert it over to Ninja Trader. That seems to be the platform most of the futures people use. So that's what we're going to go. And then we'll have the futures offer and the Forex offer. People just keep asking for it, so we might as well give it to them.
Cool.
Okay. It's interesting. So you said something that, just sparked my ear. You said it's going to take you a long time to get something that, I forget what word you said, like works or is good or something. And I'm just kind of blown away with the ability of AI, because I only started like last week coding this, and I'm pretty sure I have something that works, right? I ran a Monte Carlo simulation with 10,000 trades, and 95% chance that after 500 trades, it makes money. Not crazy amounts of money. And that's even with commissions. So what are some of the things that could go wrong after I've let's say I found something, but then it doesn't work? What are some of the things that come out from your experience that break it?
Yeah, it's simply like just the live conditions. It's just so much different. It's different, right? You run a prop firm. Of course, it's different. It's just like you have it works, it passes the simulation, it passes the test, it passes everything, and then you get it live and it doesn't work. And that's what's happened to me. Like I've developed, I don't know, 100 robots. I've only ever had 4 or 5 on the market. A couple of them I had to take off of the market. Right now, I only have 2 on the market. It's so difficult in the live conditions to have something that actually works consistently for a long period of time. And that's actually like going to work for new traders, right? People that of course, like I've had systems in the past where like someone could master it and become very good with it. And then like sometimes even be better than me with my own robot because they know like, oh, I'm going to turn it off on this day and I'm going to turn it off at this time and I'm going to adjust the take profit because they spent their whole lives working with that tool. So in a way, it's like working with a strategy, how you adjust a certain thing, right? And it's like, I want to get my previous day high or low or whatever these idiots are using right now. And then, and then that's just like, I lost my train of thought, but that's exactly the thing where like you just go live and it just doesn't work. And it's like, I've lost like, I don't know, $50,000 to $100,000 in just dead robots coding.
Wow.
Just,
the coding, not the money that you're trading.
No, I'm well up there.
You should spend $100 on Claude, and now you got free code.
I have Claude. I don't know. I don't know.
Doesn't work as well.
We'll see. Like the thing is, like what I would do if I were you is I would like code that thing, do all the testing, and then I would hire a professional coder on the other end of that, and then be like, what do you think? Does this pass? Like your tests as well. And then after all of that, and that'll cost a lot of money to get a good guy to do that. And then you'll have to still take it live. And then if it doesn't work live, then it's like, all right, scrap back to the drawing board. And so that would happen to me. I'd be like, in the last 10 years, I would be 2 months away from a product launch, 1 month away from a product launch, scrap it. 2 months, because I just couldn't get like 3 months of consistent on live or 6 months of consistent on live. Usually I wanted like 3 months at least. And even that was like, I would just look at it and then I would go, well, this is going to kill my reputation if I released it. So I just had to keep throwing them away. And that's one thing I'd like to point out is, unlike most of the guys on YouTube or whatever, my services have kind of kept me in this industry. Like I've made my money with the services, right? We talk about how much money you make. My services are good, right? I still run the same things that I've been running, like the robots 10 years, the signal rooms 5 years, and just go look at everyone else. It's a new trading room every 6 months. The negative reviews come in. They can't keep clients, whatever. I've been able to sustain for a very, very long time. I've only just recently in my VIP seen a dip this year. And I think people just don't want signals anymore. I don't know. I can't really put my thumb on it.
The trends do change over time. Courses aren't as big anymore. Signals aren't as big anymore. People really like doing the affiliate marketing.
Live trading. Live trading. Yeah.
I'm going to have to do that. Like if I want to do it, I would have to do, I think, one of those live trading rooms where it's like every 9 a.m. I'm there. But then I have a job. I don't want to have a job. I'm way too much to have a job.
But,
that's the whole point of trading, right?
And that's what robots are too, right? Like I could just run the robot.
But Pat, I must say I actually respect that a lot. Like especially because obviously, like I'm in South Africa, if you can tell from the flag behind me. But a lot of guys in the robot, the robot trading space, they will sell a robot that they know is shit, and doesn't make money. But then they'll just like, oh, well, I'm going to make money selling it anyway. So they're just going to sell it. And only like 3 months later, will people start complaining and they're like, well, I knew this was coming, So I actually respect that you're selling bots that are actually, you want traders to make money because not only they're going to make money, but they're going to keep coming back as well.
Yeah, well, reputation does matter. Although I will say it doesn't matter that much in the trading industry because as you very well know, traders come in every 3 months. You're in for 2 months. You're 3 months, whatever. You're gone. So
they forget.
If I have some hit videos on YouTube for 3 months, I'm cooking. If I'm cold as ice, I'm cold as ice. I'm not cooking. It's just like the new guys come in, and then luckily right now I've been able to sustain a lot of my gains through the business side of things, which I know, traders don't like to talk about, because 15% of my clients using the trading robot upgrade. Okay. That's an insane statistic. All right. Like 15%. How many traders are actually successful in the market? Like, what do they say? 3%, 2%, 15% are so happy after a couple of months with the robot. They're like, I don't want to run this on one live account. I want to run this on 2. And there's a ton of people that will never run 2 live accounts. So, you know, that's like really my only metric to go on of like how successful people are doing that. And the fact that if you go into the results section on my Discord, it's absolutely insane. And I don't even have moderators.
Yeah, it would be odd to run 2 bots. You would have maybe one account for a bot and then one that you manage yourself, one for swing or something.
Exactly. But a lot of people now, they want to have one live account, and then they want to have like one prop firm account. But I've got guys that have like over 10 licenses. They just want to have like one pair on one account and then a different setting on a different account, which is what I like to do myself. I don't like to jam it up all on one account. Like if I'm trading euro US dollar, that's that account. And if that goes sour, it goes sour. If it goes great, it goes great. I have an account right now up 400% this year. That's absolutely verified. That started in February. That's live trading conditions. And, you know, I know you always like to talk about, hey, like I could have a broker login and I could be changing these results, but I can't because everyone in Discord is using the same set file. So they're seeing the exact same trade that I'm seeing. You know, maybe the commission's different. The execution could be a little bit different. And that's actually a problem right now because the scam prop firms don't like me and they're starting to kick us off.
Yeah. A lot of prop firms don't allow bots. One of the questions I was reading, somebody asked, how do you get around prop firms that don't allow bots? And I'm going to just politely tell him that we should not answer that question because a lot of prop firms do not allow bots. And I don't want to teach you how to do that.
Yeah, I don't really have a trick for that anyways. I don't have a trick for that.
A lot of people like to cheat the systems, and but like, that's a good way to get banned.
FTMO allows bots, you know, Fivers allows bots. Well, they say they allow bots, but then all of a sudden when it's payday, you know, a lot of my clients in the past like 3 weeks are just getting kicked off props constantly, which, you know, is a good sign for me. It means my product's working, but they're just saying like, oh, this trade is copied, right? This is the exact same trade as this guy at the same time. So I'm adding a randomizer in. So now it'll be just a little bit different. Everyone's trade will be a little bit different. But even still, it's like whether you're using a robot or not, if I have a very simple entry model, which is like on the euro US dollar, we're just doing like an orb retracement. I like that. It hits the top of the orb on euro US dollar, bottom of the orb, and it just goes in the opposite direction. And it's like you could just get a quick scalp on that. It works great. You could be doing that manually, and they could still be like saying you're copying because it's just at that exact same level everyone would be trading from. So I don't know. It's like you prop guys, man. You're always looking to get out of it.
It would have to be the number of trades. Yeah. So you actually said something interesting, and it's one of the pain points of the prop industry too, is the churn rate of traders is about 3 months, right? So people forget. And so many prop firms that are still around today, they've rug pulled people, right? They've shut down, or they've completely banned a bunch of people. They've changed, you know, whatever their rules are randomly. And 3 months later, they're okay. They're okay again. They can just kick everyone off, and then 3 months later keep running. And now you have a whole new set of audience. And it's the issue with the prop firms is you can just keep rug pulling, right? A lot of these guys do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, I have a couple questions that I want to jump back to. You said a bot that is good for new traders, something like this. You said, are new traders going to be able to use this bot?
Yeah.
Why would a new trader need to use the bot? Is there some sort of user, you know, typing or whatever?
Well, look, I made the most money I've ever made today. Okay, that's a tease. So stick around for later in the podcast. I'll bring that up again.
Okay.
All right. But you're supposed to laugh at that, but it is true actually. South African guy, give me a laugh. All right. So like what I like about the robot is you can have a new trader. Like we have traders that have like traded for like 5 years, a decade. Like I've got like people in the Discord that are like, I'm crying. I've never been profitable. And finally I'm profitable. And I think for like a new trader, like what would be better than like, here's a set file that I could plug into the robot that I know is working, that I know like over 1,000 people are using. And like, I can just be better than my friend who's also trading, or be better than a guy who's been trading for like 2 years. And hey, maybe at some point, you know, Trump tweets, things go awry. It can happen, but it's like, you could run 6 months of profit. You could double an account. You could quadruple an account. I proved it. I've done it this year. It's like with the same set file, with the same trades, but it's not without risk, but it is better in my opinion, because no one's winning anyways. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, in my opinion, it's better to just take the risk.
Yeah.
To take the risk of a robot than doing it yourself, because you're probably going to be emotional, have terrible execution habits anyways. And like, you may just be like, hey, I'm a good robot trader. You know, like there is such thing as that. There are guys that just trade with robots. We know that like 80% of the trades being put into the market right now are done algorithmically. So the retail 20%, you know, give yourself a chance, or just like be like, hey, let me win for 2 months. It might feel good. You know, maybe you blow an account, you risk too much, but it might feel good.
Yeah. Speaking of that, actually, you know, the market being run kind of by robots, have you approached like any firms with your bot, like big firms? I'm not talking prop firms, you know, like Goldman Sachs or something. Would they be interested in things like that, or is it a completely different market?
I doubt it. It's like, I'm more of a retail market now. I'm sure if they were like using my trading robot with millions and millions of dollars and basically pushing the market in their direction, yeah, they'd be absolutely crushing with my robot. But why wouldn't they already have that? You know, why would they need me and my team of misfits to put this together? This is a retail operation for retail traders, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's an edge. At least we have an edge.
Yeah, sure, totally. I heard they pay well, so
yeah. Look, if anyone's going to give me money, I'm going to take it. Right? I do love money. Again, biggest amount of money I've ever made in my life today, earlier this morning. I'll tell you later in the podcast. You got to stick around, right? See, now I'm the host. What's up? A little tease. I'll hit that.
Yeah, quite charismatic. Okay, so I have another.
That was sarcastic. Okay.
I have another thought. So when I was programming, doing or prompting, somebody liked to correct me in my Discord, said, "Hey, you're not coding, you're prompting," right? You know, I kept looking at it and it wasn't quite right. It wasn't quite my strategy. It was a lower win rate than how I actually perform. And I kept trying to tweak things around. And, you know, I did that for like the week, all last week, just straight nonstop. Right. And nothing seemed to be exactly it. So I have a new idea, is why not teach the AI how you trade? Right. And I want to get your opinion on this. Instead of coding it, instead of prompting it itself, give it all your trades, explain why are you trading certain ways, and then see if it can decipher your strategy itself, and then code and prompt itself. Do you think this is a better approach in the current era, or do you think it's better to just code it?
I think the logic is there. I'd love to try that myself, because but what you would just need in the end, which is what you would always need, whether you're in school or anything, is you need the robot to be able to teach someone. So you take one of the people in your Discord, one of your students, and then you have like Claude teach them the strategy. And then if that person can come to you and be like, here's like all my trades from this week, and that's actually your trades, I think you've got it. That's how I would do that. But I think that's a sick idea.
Yeah. There's something weird about teaching a robot, you know, how to do something that is completely human intuition. You know what I mean? But there's definitely rules. That's just the most difficult thing that I found so far, is like, how do I explain that I want that level that is all the way through all these candlesticks. You know what I mean? It's passed through multiple times. Why did I choose that one? I don't know, because it's close and looks nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're going to be very discretionary, right? Like I've watched your strategy videos too, and I like them, but it's like I'm always just like at one point, like, what the hell is he talking about? And I'm just like, how do I do that? And maybe I would just need to watch you for like 5 hours on stream to like put it all together. But I've watched your videos and I'm always like so close to getting it. And then I'm like, I think I'm doing some of this already, but I can't
even
get
myself.
Exactly.
I'm still teaching myself. It's very easy to start, right? But that's the great thing about a good strategy is it's like near impossible to perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pat, cool. Are you running the bots on gold stocks? What have you found like the most success on?
So I like Forex, which is going to be a problem when we do come to futures, right? Because with Forex, I really like how the market ranges, right? Like if I'm trading NASDAQ, there's a lot of trends. It could be concerning for my robot, right? Because I like to, like, not in all of my setups, but in a lot of my setups, I like to grid, all right? I'm sure you guys know grid, but it's like if we're in a range like this and prices just bouncing back and forth between that range, on a grid, I'm always going to win. And so on Euro US dollar or something that isn't moving crazy, we're good, right? Canadian dollars like been crushed lately. Luckily, I'm not trading it as much. Same with gold and oil during the war. I'm just not trading it as much because I'm basically just limiting the volatility, right? I just want to avoid volatility, which is like unlike most traders, but that is kind of like the foundation of my strategies historically, is like I'm trying to find like a very low volatility point of the day. I know New York Stock Exchange Open isn't always that, but I'm trying to find a low volatility period of the day where I know the market is ranging, so that like it never goes too far against me, and it always is going to retrace back to that level. And if you're scalping, you know, you need a short retracement. And the way I have it set right now, when I use the grid, when I really like the grid, is if the trade goes against me, we'll enter again, we'll move the take profit down, and we'll just keep doing that. And eventually it's going to retrace. And it has consistently. Like I have one account that's been going from September, and it's a lower risk account, but it's over 20%. So it would have passed prop firms a bunch of times, and the drawdown's below 4%. So it would have passed prop firms like 4 times, 5 times, depending on the rules.
And you have a cutoff switch or something, because you're doing grid sort of style, you must have some sort of like emergency shutdown.
Yeah, so like I have like a advanced risk management, but you know I barely ever use it. You know, as long as I make sure that like I'm not trading holidays and I'm avoiding that high impact news, I'm in pretty good shape. Like you can't even back test my like my news filter. So what happens is you can go through and back test, and then you go, oh, that was a big drawdown day. And you can pretty much circle that and just throw it into ChatGPT or Claude and say what happened on that day. And it's almost always a news day. So the fact is the back test results, which I have, are very impressive, but the live trading should be even better, because the news filter is going to block those days, or block at least an hour before and after that news. And that's worked out very well for us.
Right on.
That's cool.
James, I got a couple questions that I wrote down here. That I've been tracking here. So what Catsoft says, what specific market behavior completely kills your robot's edge, and how do you protect your capital during this? I guess you might have just said it, you know, high volatility.
Yeah, pretty much. Right? Yeah. And it's just like if Trump tweets or something, it can be concerning. Like there was a day where like a guy was running oil, but it was like against everything I said in the Discord. I was like, don't trade oil. And then like he was running oil, and I think Trump did something and oil went nuts. And he happened to be in a trade and he got washed. Like
Yeah,
that's
he did
life.
something. He bombed Iran.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Okay, yeah, cool. And then I guess how does it? You say it doesn't do very well in trending markets because I guess it just falls away from you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly. And like that's just something that I'm gonna have to try and figure out when we come to futures, because like we'll be on NASDAQ and gold and whatever people really trade there. So that may be more difficult to figure out the range. Maybe I just like probably set some sort of bias in the robot. So at that point I'd be like, well, kind of always goes up. Maybe we just kind of do more buy side, and that's that.
Yeah, true.
That would be my suggestion, would be having a daily moving average, probably, right? Using the daily candlesticks, because then you'll know if you're in a recession or regular market, right? Because that's the only case where shorts should take priority, is when you're in a recession, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Which we are in Canada.
Yeah. Are you in Canada?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Okay, interesting. I thought you were in the States. Cool.
Yeah, they're coming for me too, but can't talk about that. They don't like traders here.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Fair enough. I'm in Canada as well. Okay. What important strategy or risk management? What's more important? Sorry. What's more important, strategy or risk management in the bot?
Everyone says risk management, so I'll say strategy. I like the strategy. I think like having a foundational strategy is very important. It's something that like is very difficult to reproduce in a robot, but it's something that I've been able to do, and it's something that I've been able to focus on in the last couple of years as I'm trying to find the right strategy to code into the robot, and I landed on orb.
Yeah,
fair play. And here's another one here too.
That's interesting. You trading, because most of the orb trading is done on like stocks or indexes, and
I know
you doing one. Yeah,
I know. I brought it to Forex basically.
Yeah. Are you
saw
using
a lot of guys doing it, and I tried it years ago too, but recently I brought it to Forex. And I really
are you using like the London orb or the New York session orb for
the robot? We actually have set up like all the orbs. So we have like a London orb, an American orb, an Asian orb. Yeah. And we basically just optimize around those ranges, and it seems to work very well. Like, as long as you have that recovery mode there, you can pretty much always run for months and months with profit, as long as you avoid volatility. I've been running this thing since September. I haven't had any problems. I haven't blown any accounts. So feeling pretty good about that.
So you're running them on both live and prop firms?
I don't run prop firms, right? I have too much money for that.
Yeah. Once you get enough, it doesn't really matter anymore. You can just do it for kicks if you want, but
I should do it. It would make good YouTube content.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, passing prop firms with bots.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember I copied one of your videos years ago. I think you did like I was doing robots already. And then I think you did one where you were like
the Fiverr one,
testing robots from Fiverr, I think. And then I was like, I did it afterwards, and my video crushed. It made me.
Oh, it was one of the best performing videos I ever made. Yeah, there's like 250,000 views on that one.
Yeah.
And I think I spent like $30 or something stupid like that. Like it was nothing.
Yeah. I got to do more of those videos. I tried to do one. I tried to do one where I bought a robot on Etsy, and then YouTube, they just were like kicked me off. Like they're just like AI ruined it, and I was just like, I like the video is me proving that the robot sucked. In the end, it lost me like $2,000. I'm like, get a little bit of context, but it's like because I read like on their sales page that they're guaranteeing $500. I guarantee AI just grabs that, kicks you right off, and you just like can't get back. It sucks. They've killed YouTube's killed me in the last year or so. I've removed like almost all my videos.
Yeah. I guess the robots they don't really like anymore. They used to be really, really, really popular, I guess. What's the hardest part about coding a training robot that was an unexpected thing?
Yeah, unexpected. I guess it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. It's just like you never expect the live markets to just take your robot and make it look like crap, right? Like there'd be something you've worked on for 6 months and then you trade it for 2 months and you're like, all right, that's gone. And what I would do is I would still like run those robots just in case the 2 months was like an aberration, but it never was. They were always trash.
So let me ask you something on that. Would it work on demo and just not live? Like if you ran it, okay. So the simulation worked, the demo worked, the live doesn't work.
Yeah, because like the demo, you just be like perfect execution, like no spread, no commission. So you'll see a lot of people historically would sell these scalping robots, and they would never lose, and they'd be like, "Look at my IC Markets account up freaking 40,000%." But then obviously it goes live. They start selling it to people for like $1,000 a pop, and then crash.
Yep.
Yeah. You have to make sure you factor in some sort of commissions too, right? Because you could just trade for free.
And then Pat, how often are you like you mentioned optimizing in the beginning? How often are you optimizing like when market conditions maybe change on the bot, or you have to change like the settings, or tell your community to maybe alter the settings a little bit?
So right now it's like we've done 12 updates since November. The settings usually stay pretty close to the same. I don't adjust the settings too often. Every once in a while, there'll be a setting that I'm like, this thing just goes into drawdown all the time. So I'll just like pull it out, and then I'll be like, let's try and get a new setting in, sort of thing. But we have a lot. There's like I think there's like 15 different settings. I'd say the majority of the people using the robot use like 1 or 2. And then we have like a bunch of custom settings that people have created in the Discord. I'm actually testing them right now. That's a new video I'm going to do where like I gave them $3,000 or whatever, and I just went super high risk, and I'm going to see if their settings with my robot can like triple an account in a couple weeks, which I'm sure it will.
Yeah,
why not?
Okay, so what are the 2 robots you have working right now? You have Orb and
so I have Forex Fury, and then I have the Trade with Pat robot. Yeah.
Okay, and what do the strategies run on theirs? You have one's an Orb, right?
Yeah, and then Forex Fury, that's like quite proprietary. Some say that I don't even remember the strategy from 10 years ago, but I would never say that.
That's funny. Yeah. Okay, cool. James, you got any more questions?
Not my side. It's been pretty interesting. I'm looking in the chat here. I think we can go to what he was saying earlier. Made the most money today.
Great. I'm glad you guys remembered. It was a good hook. Yeah, actually, I was, I've been monitoring the US dollar, Canadian dollar. So you could say I made a trade, but I converted 2.5 US this morning to over 3.5 Canadian, about 3.6 Canadian. So I made about $1.1 million this morning on a single transaction.
So this was not your bot trading. This was you buying the Canadian dollar.
That's right.
Or the Canadian peso, I like to say.
Absolutely. Because, liberals are in, so the Canadian dollar is going to be weak. And then, if the conservators are ever in, if they can ever get in, and then it's strong, I'll just, flip it. It's like a free trade. I'll just flip it over, and then I'll wait for the liberals to win back, and I'll flip it back, make another couple million. Why not?
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I have been watching that closely because it's nearly at the lowest it's been in. It's been almost at the lowest it's been in ever, really.
It can get worse than this. It could definitely get worse than this. Like when I started in this business, it was worse than this. But I'm happy to get it right here. It was like 50 cents at one point.
I remember when I was a kid, it was down to like 65.
Yeah.
And that was the worst it's ever been, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been in it then, right? How old are you?
32.
32, yeah. So you were a kid when I was doing that. I'm 41.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And you look younger than me.
Yeah, well, that's why I have so much money. I've been just doing this for so long. Like, I'm very close to calling it, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't have to be doing these YouTube videos and stuff. Like I don't have to be doing any of this stuff. Like I could definitely be running it up, right? Like I could Mamba FX my garage tomorrow. I'd just rather just take the money. I'd rather just take the interest on the money and then, you know, retire in the woods like you.
Yeah. Yeah, more or less. Yeah, come over to the island and go get a cabin.
Yeah, 100%. We could Epstein it up.
Hilarious. Okay. Pat, I think that's all for us. Why don't you tell people where they can find you and what's next for you? And you know, you promote your bot here or whatever you need.
Sure. Yeah. You could go to tradewithpat.com, trade with Pat on YouTube. You could check out my Discord. If you are interested in robots, go into the Discord, go right into the results section. You'll just see thousands of people winning in there. I'm not moderating them. You know, I would, don't get me wrong. You know, if you come in there and say something stupid, you're toast. But go take a look at the results. If you're interested, maybe you're the type of person that's better with robots if you're struggling with manual trading. And look, I'm fun. Hunter already said I'm charismatic, so you know, join me.
You speak in a peculiar way, like you keep hooking us. Like
Good.
just you say something a few times throughout the episode. You say you could say that, or some would say that. You do this a lot. I noticed. You know what I mean?
It used to get me a lot of
you're
pussy.
not saying something. Do you do that on purpose?
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you make freaking 500 YouTube videos and like you don't make scripts for those. You just have to like naturally hook all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something that my mom complains about because I speak very dramatically.
Yeah, you do. I see your reels all the time. You're nuts on that.
Yeah, it's very good to say all or nothing phrases.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for sure. You're like all or nothing on your last Bitcoin call and then all or nothing on your next Bitcoin call. But look, we're at the bottom. It's time to buy. It's time to hit 150, 200. Let's wrap this thing up. Dumb Money Concepts tells me that Bitcoin's going to $1 million.
The Holy Grail.
Exactly. It's 100% win rate. Never wrong. We're going to 150K, but first we have to go down. The next video, we're going down to 50K.
Never. Dumb Money Concept says we're going to $1 million. That's it.
Yeah. Just troll the audience. Anyways, that's all, Pat.
Hunter, how many Bitcoin are you holding on to right now before we go?
0. I don't have any in my hands.
All right.
You could say that I have some though.
Hey. Could say more than 10.
No, I currently have nothing.
You sold out.
No, I mean like under my name.
Yeah.
I'm completely dead broke under my personal self. Right. And that's how if you don't get paid, you don't have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
Right? If you never get paid, then you don't never have to get. So that's the concept.
All right.
Just
Dumb
live
Money
broke.
Concepts. Follow Hunter. Oh, you're already on. Sorry. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate you. It was a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Do it again. Buy my robot.
Yeah, we'll get you in future episodes. Okay.
Great.
Take care, guys. Thanks for watching. The winner of the 50K account is posted in the Discord. I'm also going to post Pat's X account in there if you want to follow him on there. I'm sure you'll be able to find YouTube and whatnot from there. Okay. Ciao.
Much love.